Welcome to OATS UNCUT, Order Academy Talks Uncut. I'm Ava, and I'd like to start this discussion today.
Yeah? Hi, Ava.
Hi. What's the hardest part about your job?
Now, which job are you asking about? Are you asking about the coaching job or just being a woman job? That's hard enough also.
The coaching.
The coaching job. Stick to the plan, Miss Vineeta. So, the hardest part of the coaching job is actually getting to coach. In the sense, most people still do not give this whole public speaking, soft skills much importance. I feel it's always on the back burner, and I end up sometimes arguing with people because I see everybody's going for a music lesson, everybody's going for a martial arts lesson, everybody's playing, or most people are going for soccer or tennis or lots of other things. But when it comes to public speaking and communication skills and learning these soft skills of life, people put this on the back burner and say, you know what, we'll learn along the way. And then when people are in their high school or college and sometimes even at work, they realize that they never ever paused to learn this very important skill. So that's the hardest part. The rest is all fun and games.
Do you think that over time, more kids, like right now, more kids need to know public speaking than before, and it's a more needed skill?
It is definitely a more needed skill, yes. You know why? Because we are so consumed with technology. I mean, we live through our phones. We are consumed, we are completely bending down. In fact, I think the doctors are doing well because our spines have taken a hit too, because we're constantly bent down looking at our phones. So I think right now it is a dire need, because if we don't address it now, we will not know how to talk to each other. You know, we've forgotten regular things, simple things like just being able to say hello. We shy away from that too. Why? People hesitate. Why? People don't want to speak because they can text. So we are losing that art.
Yeah, phones definitely, and technology definitely has a big impact on kids today. What do you enjoy most about teaching kids public speaking?
The most fun thing working with children is that they come as clean slates. They don't have any preconceived notions about what they are learning. They come with no expectations. It's the parents who have expectations. And the parents will ask me, how soon can I see something happening to my child, some transformation after I bring my child to you? And or even sometimes an adult will ask me, how soon, how many classes do you think I need to accomplish what I'm coming to you for? And I always tell them that it's a very personality based skill. I mean, without even having met the person, met the student, young or old, how do I tell you? And you know, it's not like math or science that you go grade by grade. It's so personality based that, you know, I don't know, you might be good at writing and articulating. Somebody else may be good with body language. Somebody else may be good with vocal projection and modulation. I don't know what the skill the person brings and what their speed will be with which they will go forward. So with children, they, I feel, learn things very quickly and enjoy learning the skill because they open up. So when I see them opening up and I see the transformation in front of my eyes, it is phenomenal. So I'll tell you a quick story. So, you know, when I am in one class, I think, this one girl, her hair was coming all over her face. So I told her, I said, listen, I don't want this hair coming on your face. It's very distracting to you because you keep doing this and you keep playing with your hair and I can't see your face clearly. So please, I gave her a scrunchie. I said, please tie it back or pin it back. This was many months ago. Many months later, in another class, this little girl, as I'm speaking, I'm saying something to the class, she keeps raising her hand. So I paused and I said, yes, what's your question? She says, Miss Vineeta, you always say that the hair should be off your face so that it doesn't distract you or hide you. But today your hair is open and I noticed that you did this a bunch of times. So shouldn't you be tying your hair? So I actually laughed immediately and I laughed and I looked at her and I said, I'm so glad that you listen when I say things. As simple as that. As simple as that. Because you know what I've seen in your generation, there was another student who came to me. She would literally part her hair half from the back of her head and bring those two sides in front. And she would come to me with hair like this. I could barely see her face. And I used to actually somewhat kind of push her to put her hair away. I don't think she appreciated that, but my thing was that you don't need to hide under your hair. So the most fun thing about working with children is that fun and responsible is that one, they are very receptive. They ask honest questions. If they think of something, they will let you know. So that I appreciate. It's a very beautiful organic relationship. And the other thing is that I see them transforming. An adult may show signs later, but children show signs very quickly.
Do you think that higher expectations can help a child or make their skills worse? Like a parent who has such high expectations for their kids, and that might give their kids more stress and anxiety, or do you think that's going to help them more in the future?
You know what? It's case to case basis. It's very hard for me to. There is no definitive answer to that question. It depends on the child. If I know that my child has the caliber for it, then I'll push them so that they don't procrastinate, because as a parent, I must give them good life habits too. But if the child does not have the capacity to, and I'm just pushing them, then I'm just making them feel worse about themselves. And that's going to be counterproductive. So that's why I say there is no one book that tells anyone how to be a good parent. Because each child is different, each parent is different, each relationship is different. It's very tough. So I guess you go day by day. Parents have to observe and see where the skill set lies. And I think with that mindset, parents enroll their children in multiple activities so that they are also trying to understand, and they're trying to help the child understand which is their skill. Are they more into cognitive skills or are they more into physical skills? Which is their forte? So sometimes I do tell people, actually, you may have heard me actually also critiquing in class sometimes, and I tell my students, I'm asking this from you because I know you have the chops to deliver. If I thought you did not and you could not do it, I would never ask you, because I don't want you to make you feel worse about yourself. So it's tough. So I understand the parents who are pushing, and I also understand the parents who are holding back. Simple thing like sometimes parents also follow the herd, right? Everybody's doing it, so I must do it with my child. So when my kid was small, I resisted Kumon because everybody around us was going to Kumon. And though I see value in it, but just to defy the herd mentality, I said, everybody's going, I'm not going to sign up for Kumon. I mean, I don't know if I lost out on something, but you know what? It's water under the bridge, it's gone. But it's tough being a parent too.
Yeah. I know that school and other kids impact a child's life a lot. Has there ever been a child who came to you when they were younger, and instead of making progress because of the other kids at school, they started being more insecure and caring about what they say?
Fortunately, there hasn't been any such adverse cases. None has come to my knowledge, at least. And actually, some kids have actually. So when I meet students who I've worked with in the past, they will still sometimes come and give me a hug or come to me and say hello very fondly. So I feel very assured that I must have done something right. But fortunately, there has not been a case where somebody became so mindful of what they were saying that they started getting bullied or became even more insecure. Because, in my classes, the first thing is sense of conviction and confidence. So that is the first thing. If you have that, I think everything else falls into place. So it's not the speaking. It's much more under the layers. So fortunately, that hasn't been the case. And I've worked with so many different ages. It's been a pleasure.
What did you struggle most with when you were a child?
It's interesting that you asked me that question because, one, you talked about parents' expectations, right? I did struggle with that, with my parents, at least my mother, because I was in the same school that she was teaching. And I had to perform well, because it was her reputation also at stake, that that teacher's child is doing well or not doing well. So I felt that and also she was always kind of watching over. So you don't have freedom to be a child, to be naughty sometimes. So I think it was a struggle to have a social kind of a connection with people. It was just home and school, nothing much beyond that, and the struggle to excel, not for yourself so much, but to make your parents feel proud of you. So I have been very mindful as I became a parent to at least not put that pressure. I do, like I said earlier, sometimes I do push, but I hope that I'm pushing with the intention of inspiring, not pushing as to make me look good, make me look good. No, not with that intention. Ultimately it is, if children do well, parents feel happy, right? What you do, what you put into your life now, you will benefit from it later. So as a parent, I can push you, but not to that extent that you go 180. So it's a tough line to toe. So that was my biggest challenge, living up to my mom's expectations.
What made you want to start teaching other people public speaking? Was it something that happened when you were a child, or what made you want to help others?
So as I've shared with you in the past, that I was hesitant to speak. I was somehow, I did not feel very secure about myself, in the manner that I was big, I'm tall, so I kind of stood out physically too, and I was doing very well in school as well. Thankfully, I was doing quite well. I was good in sports and I was good in academics as well. But I think why the struggle was still, for some reason, self-judgment. Always judging myself, and judging myself poorly. I think that's what most of us end up doing, judging yourself poorly. And then when I came to this country and I actually started doing live radio, I had no concept. I had never done radio before, but I'd performed on stage several times through my music training. So when the radio show started doing well, and I did that for 16 years, that was a hit. That was super successful. And then I got invited to other platforms. As I mentioned, I didn't mention just now, but previously, that I was on NPR twice. So I've been invited to other platforms too. So it was my journey of telling myself, hey, you're good at this. You're good at this. And then I was kind of nudged into coaching children. The first time I proposed this program at the Children's Sunday School, it was a sellout. And then I realized that the children were ready for this skill. They were not too young to learn. So that concept that you learn only when you're older, certain skills like communication, is not true. Whatever you teach the children at a younger age actually establishes their foundation. So that kind of encouraged me. And that actually really got me excited. And when I saw the results, and the parents would come and tell me, oh, my son feels super confident after having come to you. And in fact, he says, if I can, just connect me with Miss Vineeta before my event and I'll be fine. I just want to speak to her once and I'm good to go. So that made me feel so good. And as my own children were growing up, then I feel that I cultivated another family that is independently out of my home. It's my other family. And it's as gratifying as it is to watch my own children. It's as gratifying to watch you all. So it got me hooked.
What do you think, what's the biggest lesson that you learned in your life and that you want other people to know too?
The biggest lesson is that one should have little faith in one's own self. You got to stop judging yourself. If you judge yourself, if we judge ourselves poorly, the world will judge me poorly too. Because it's evident in your eyes, the way we look at people can tell what we think about our own selves. That underconfidence comes through. So this is literally the biggest lesson, that just be yourself. There is a lot of strength. It brings everything good. It brings confidence, it brings conviction, it brings faith, it brings success. So just believe in yourself and be proud of who you are. do not compare yourself to anybody else. So on my Facebook page, on my personal page, there's a cover photo which says, if you judge, it's actually Einstein's quote, I think. He said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its entire life feeling stupid. So I think that's such an iconic statement, because that is what it is. So I'm not going to judge you or judge myself with your benchmark. I'll set my own benchmarks. So I've just got to work on myself. That is the biggest lesson that I have learned myself, and I'm trying to impart to my students. You have more questions to shoot at me?
No.
No? You want to close it?
Thank you for listening to OATs Uncut.
Well, so this is Ava. I invited her for this chat, and I invited her with this freedom to actually question me without telling me what she had in mind. And I think she did a brilliant job. She's actually very good at moderating. I've seen that before. And aren't you thankful that I didn't ask you any questions instead?
Yeah.
Would you be, why that worry, that preconceived anxiety about being questioned?
I feel like when I'm questioned, I don't have long answers. I just answer the question and I don't add anything else. That also makes it harder for the moderator to come up with questions. And they could also be unexpected, and I like being prepared and knowing what I'm going to talk about.
So it's great that you want to be prepared, but the thing is that life will not always give you time to prepare. So have faith in yourself, and I think you've already done a beautiful self-analysis when you said that I answered the questions very short and I don't really expand upon my answer. So it's difficult for the moderator or the interviewer to ask me a follow-up question. That's what it is. That's what it's a story that we wove together just now about my life, and that could be the same for you, right? So again, I think if you respond with citing an example or a story from your life, it becomes slightly more cushioned answer, and it allows the other person to think what next to ask you. Because I think the interviews where you go with the prepared list of questions can do well, but may not be as organic as just a question that comes out of the last comment. So this worked out very well. Thank you, Ava, for your time. Thank you for watching us again. OATs Uncut, Orator Academy Talks Uncut. Stay safe, stay well. Remember to love and laugh and to have a blast. We shall meet again soon.
OATs out.
OATs out.